Hey guys, welcome back. How are you? It's your boy Hebot coming at you with another episode of Toys in My Closet. And as you can see today in front of me, I'm going to do a little bit of Masters of the Universe. And in this case is Masters of the Universe Revelations, to be specific. Now these figures have been out for quite a while, but I've had my hands on them and haven't really had the chance to take a look at them, give my thoughts, and review them and see what I think of those figures. We have first in this side, Teela in her actual Masters of the Universe classic look, but with the Revelations update. And then on this side, we have none other than Mer-man. And Mer-man is significantly different than what we're used to and accustomed to, but I have a whole other idea and, plan to how I want to use this Mer-man in particularly. So as you see, they're still in the same aesthetic style and box that we've been getting and used to with the Revelations and even the new Eternia. Teela has a beautiful face sculpt with an extra portrait shield. That's how she looks in the window bubble. As you can see, this is Teela there. At the top, it says Masterverse, as always. Then there's a beautiful portrait there on the side of her that I think is done by Damon O'Donoghue. And then Teela on the side. And again, a beautiful portrait of her, as you see there, with the cross cell of the, of this particular wave. Then with Mer-man, same thing. You can see him in all of his glory inside the bubble. Looking really different, scarred up, battle torn, even a missing eye, kind of shirtless, a nice set of amounts of hands. Mer-man, Masterverse, and a really nice portrait of him here on the side, as you can see. And then in the back, another nice portrait of him, really nice with the cross cell. And then on the other side, Mer-man. So they look really great in packaging as per usual. Because every figure always looks pretty cool in their packaging. But now, what we're going to do is we're going to take them out, take a closer look, see how well executed or not how well executed they are, and see what they have to offer. So hopefully you'll sit down and have a digital drink and enjoy, follow me and enjoy me with the ride. And see if, you like the review or like what I have to say or like these figures in general or particularly. So hopefully you'll enjoy the ride as I'm unboxing them and reviewing them. So I'll see you guys real soon in a blink of an eye. Okay guys, here we have Mer-man first and foremost out of the box. And as you can see, Mer-man is very significantly different and drastic. He looks very aged and kind of war-torn and weathered. But I guess it makes sense because many years have passed by, according to the story of Revelations. And as you can see, and we take a closer look at Mer-man, his face looks really, really distinct and different because he's missing an eye, and then the other eye is just kind of looks like it's drooped, but he has the more modern look to it with those fins coming across his ears like that, with the white on his teeth. And then you see that the body is really basically the bulk that we're used to, but then you see the scars of the battles and from being war-torn. Then on the top, he kind of has like those gills. As you can see, they're very lightly and delicately and gently, sculpted, and even here, back here, they're like gills also. And then some more scars there on his biceps, there on the muscle on the bicep, and then a little bit there on the torso of the actual stomach area. And you see he has these nice gauntlets, very playing with the orange and then the matte gold instead of shiny gold. Then the belt, same thing, matte teal green with the gold and this kind of like purple blue in the middle with the orange frills coming down, and kind of look like the loincloth, right? If you look underneath, he does have the orange underneath. Then going down to the legs, that you see he has the here in the shin, he has the again by the knee area, which would be the knee pad protector that's connected to the shin guard in the boot. You see that it's like a blue purple, gold and matte, and then the orange. And you see his kind of monster feet, which I thought it would have like those little gill thingies here in between the toes, like the actual hands that it comes with. But again, he looks very drastically different, but still very merman, right? If you will. Now, I don't plan to use merman like this. I plan to use these guys, or him, might get another one as a Build-A-Soldier, like Merman's Minions. Then, once the classic looking Merman comes out, whether it's the Revelations or Masterverse, then I'll get that as well to be the dedicated Merman. But as for now, I plan to use him as one of Merman's minions, which I think would work really well. So now let's take a look at the accessories that this Merman particularly brings. So here we go. Let's start off with his first set of hands. And these sets of hands are actually really cool because you see it brings the little gills in between the hands that you can tell he's a fish man, or the hands of a fish man. And you see the sculpting on the inside. It looks like he has gills here underneath the hands itself. So he brings a set of hands that look like gills, so you can put them in like a swimming pose. Then he brings some fisticuffs to make it seem like he's, fighting, which is, I guess, cool. Having fisticuffs as well. And then he brings, as you see there, the two open hands for him to hold the weapons that he actually brings. Now, Merman always was known for bringing his trident, and this is his new trident that looks drastically different and more simplified than his other one, right? With the silver gray, kind of greenish looking. Then you have the orangey top there, looks like a snake almost wrapped around to the top with the orange there, and then the teal on the actual handle going down across. And then he brings, of course, his new sword and modernized sword, because the original sword we all know looked more like a corner on the cob. And this one has the handle again with the the black or greenish teal handle with the orange on the top and bottom, and then that gray matte finish for the sword. And you see it looks very kind of Arabian, like an Arabian style sword. So that's what he brings as far as accessories. So let's put on his accessories so we can see what he looks like, with them on in hand. And here we have Merman, obviously with his weapons on, and he doesn't really have any other type of accessory, but you see that he looks pretty cool with the accessories. You try it on and you can pose them up pretty nicely. Now, I do have a Masters of the Universe Classics, armored piece that came with the Great Unrest Weapons Pack from Mattel, Classics, that brought an extra guard, an extra armor piece from Merman, and I think it matches the color for this one pretty well. So I'm going to put it on so you guys can see what it looks like. And here is the piece itself. And you see that I think it matches well. So we put it right over here. And this was form fitted for the, classics, obviously. And you can put the head right back on. And this is what he would look like. For those of you that are curious, this is what he would look like. So, I think it works well, and you can get away with it if you want to make him into a classic style merman, but with the updated look, like, what we see in his eye, or missing an eye. As you can see, you can zoom in a little bit, and you can see that it looks really cool. But again, this is from classics. Now this extra piece for merman, you try to get this weapon's this armor from the unrest. Now you see that it's won't cling on because it's obviously, you could try to make it work, but it's obviously too small. But this armor piece for this weapon's unrest, this thing goes for an arm and a leg now. I didn't know it was going that expensive. So it's crazy how expensive it's going for. And it's weird how the colors do work and match with the ones that are already on them. But you can't do it if you have it. And if you're willing to pay the price for it, you can if you want to make him look like this with the more modern look, instead of waiting for when the actual or classic one comes out, whether it's in New Eternia or Revelations. So that's what he looks like. So now let's take a quick look at some of his articulation. So this merman being so plain and bare, it should have no restrictions or articulation. So for the head, it does move left and right, and the head goes up that much, goes down that much, and then it obviously has some form of tilt, not too much, a little bit. His shoulders go up all the way to that much, obviously 180 degrees. Bicep swivel, the double on the elbow, which for some reason, there you go. You can't really do it much there because of the gauntlet. And he has the hinge on the wrist. It goes left and right. Obviously here on the torso cut, he has the cut where he can move left and right. He can, wiggle. He goes forward a little bit, backwards a little bit. Then he has the waist swivel. No extra with the waist cut as far as forward, and then head to extending back is minimalistic as well. On the legs, we have the bicep swivel. He can do a split, almost 100% man there, almost. And you have the double on the knee, swivel on there, and for the leg goes forward that much, back that much, and it has a minimal rocker that is there, but it works. So again, as far as his range of articulation, it's pretty decent. With the exception of having a butterfly ring on the shoulder area, or more flexibility to move forward or hyperextend back. But it's still decent enough, right? So there we have his articulation point. So now let's take a quick look at some comparisons of merman. So here we'll start him off next to what would be the best interpretation of merman, even though I still say that Masters of the Universe classics by today's standard is very dated, but their sculpt and mold being as husky and bulky as they were, and all the shades of paint and color are phenomenal. And this is what Masters of the Universe classics looks like to the new, more lankier style merman that kind of resembles more the 2000X style, which I also have that figure, but I don't have it in hand. I have it put away in a bin, but this is what it looks like. Now, this is with the classic merman, vintage head. So if you want to look what it looks like with the more modern head that I tend to use, most of the time, this is what it looks like with the more modern head, which is how I use this merman in classics most of the time when I'm displaying him. I have it here, as you see right there. You see, it's also really cool, but very different in its own right, but looks still very merman. Now, let's bring some other little mermans to the table. So here we have the Royal Subject merman with the old classic head. And we're going to bring in the Masterverse Mini merman. Then we're going to bring in the Mega Constructs merman. As you can see, just to give you an idea. And of course, I'm going to bring in the Masters of the Universe Origins merman. Now, this is the merman that I build as my definitive merman for Masters. Right here, with that head style that looks like the one that I have on the classics right now, which this is from the Lords of Power. This is how I created mine. This is my definitive Origins merman, how I have it displayed. And then I have the other pieces that were left with another merman, which is also pretty cool, with the vintage style face, as you can see. So I have like two vintage style merman, right? So I'll put them there, as you can see. Let's see if I can move this back. There we go. So there is my complete merman collection, except I'm missing the 2000X, which I do have, like I said, but it's put away, so I couldn't really take it out for this review. But I think, you guys get the idea of how cool it looks with all the different mermans and stuff. So maybe I'll do one more comparison with another type of figure, and then we'll move on to Teela. So here we are, one small comparison before we move on, because just to give you an idea what it would look like next to some other figures. And as you notice, I picked some figures that had like muted colors, more toned down the way he has them, except with his, loincloth, obviously, that's very bright orange. So here we have the Hasbro Return of the Jedi Ewok Village outfit Leia right here, and then we have here the McFarlane Toys Hush figure from the Batman Hush storyline. You see that this is more in the 7-inch scale line, which fits more the Masters of the Universe Revelations merman as opposed to the 6-inch or 5 1/4 Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Leia with the Ewok Village outfit, as you see. So, but it looks cool. You get an idea of what they will look like next to each other. So, guys, let's now move on to Teela and check her out. Okay, guys, and here we have the magnificent Teela in her classic costume, from more reminiscent of the vintage style from Revelations. This was the Revelations costume that they chose, which had a modern take, but definitely looks like the classic vintage style as well, and paying respects to that. So we can take a closer look at her, and she is a very beautiful figure, especially when you look at her face sculpt, her eyes, her face, the way they did the eyebrows with the lips, with a nice sheen with the blue eyes and the black eyeliner on the eyes. Her red hair, like always, looking really nice and done and sculpted like in a bun. With her tiara going over with the gold outlines. And then that yellowy gold on the middle with the pearl in red. So looks really good. And as you can see, here goes the neckline with this collar piece, the front design of the armor by the breast area, open shoulders with no real holder, and going down in her, actual torso and abdomen area with the waist, with the front design of the body plate, and then the way it looks like at the back as well with the nice design. She has those nice guards on the bicep, those bicep ring guards, and then the guards on her forearm guards with the white and gold. Same thing on the other side with that nice design. So she's looking really, really spectacular and very sensual and beautiful at the same time. Nice matte finish on her legs and the thigh area, knees, and then the boots with the classic white fur on the top. And the boots going down with that nice sheen of brown with the details of the boots. But going with that very retro vintage style with the boots that she has. So as far as what her aesthetic looks, Teela looks absolutely stunning and very, very beautiful. The only thing she's really missing with this version is the classic snake guard that she wears, or came with the vintage style, and even 2000X or whatnot. So let's take a look at what accessories she brings next. So here we are with the accessories, and again, Mattel pricing these at retail price of $19.99. They come with a nice amount of accessories or attachments, if you will. First, we'll start off with her extra set of hands, which is basically open for like weapon and one to fisticuff, so that you can change either from right to left whenever they wield a weapon. Then we have her classic sword, which is modernized from the vintage, but still takes a lot of liberties to feel like the vintage in many respects, which is cool. And there's the handle with the brown, and then that little hand of the gold on the top, and the wrappings, and on the tip. Nice silver. Sorry for that. Fell out of my hands. As you can see, silver gunmetal on the actual blade itself, with a nice sheen into it, as you can see. I hope that comes off well on camera. And then she brings her classic shield, which just looks a lot like the older shield, except it don't have the spikes here, and it was a different color that matched the actual snake armor. And the inside, so you can see what it looks like when you pass the hands to hold it. And then she brings the second portrait, which was also part of the Revelations cartoon. And it's another beautiful portrait of her with her hair down. And what I'm going to do is look at that weathering and black wash on the hair, really nice, with the eyes and the eyebrow and the lips done really well. And again, I'm going to use this portrait on the first release because I think it make the figure look a lot better with that armor and her hair like this. It looks a lot more sensual and barbaric at the same time. It reminds me kind of like Red Sonja. So yeah, that's what she brings as far as accessories. So Now let's take a look at what Teela looks like with these accessories on hand. And here we have Teela with the accessories, which are her weapons. And she looks spectacular. Very, very nice. Very, very awesome, menacing, and badassery. And you can pose in a lot of cool poses. Bringing up the shield. Hyper extending her back. A little attitude like so. And then dropping the hand with the sword forward. And you'll see how she looks really, really dope. As you can see, I don't know why she fell, but okay, whatever. Looking really, really cool. And badasseria. See, she looks really cool. The shield. The light is too high. Shield, the sword. And then she extended the hand out like so. She looks cool. So, this is what she looks like, ladies and gentlemen, with all of her weapons, style, and accessories. Now, one real quick thing I'll do here is I'll change her head portrait just so you guys can see what she looks like with the head portrait, with her, you know, her with her weapons on. And again, she looks really nice as well. But for some reason, for me, when I see her like this, she kind of reminds me of like Scarlet Witch or something, or Black Widow. It's weird, but it looks good. Still looks good. Still looks good. The portrait on her looks really nice, as you can see. But yeah, there is Teela with her accesorios. So now I'll take a quick look at her articulation as well, which should be par for the course with Mer-man. So I'll be right back. So we'll start off with the head. There it goes, left and right. Down very minimal. It looks up a little bit good amount. She does have a little tilt. Not much. Shoulders go up, not much. 180 degrees can be achieved by sweat. Double on the elbow. Hinge on the hand, which is the wrist. And then swivel. And here she has that nice amount of range. She can go forward this much, go back a little bit, and then side to side action, which is not bad. And then she has a waist swivel on the waist area. The only thing is covered by the cloth piece, which is very pliable and soft, and you see her panties are supposed to be orange. So then she can split herself Van Damme style very much so. And then you see that she has the thigh cut swivel, double on the knee. She has the boot cut, forward that much, backwards that much on the foot, and then the rocker. So as far as the range, it's also pretty excellent and par for the course with Mer-man, as you can see. She doesn't really have anything that hinders, and she can kick up that much pretty good, and then back about that much. So not too bad. You can definitely put her in some nice dynamic poses and not have to worry about getting impeded by anything that's going to get in the way to restrict her. So now let's take a look at Teela and some comparisons. Okay guys, and here we have one of the first comparisons with Teela, which is the very first release of Masters of the Universe Revelations. This is her suit and you know, her outfit when she basically goes and leaves and becomes kind of like a vigilante rebel with Andra and starts doing other stuff, helping people within Eternia. And this cloak here comes with Andra, so I bought 2 Andra figures to give this one to her and left Andra without the actual cloak the way she was most of the time in the Revelations cartoon. You see that I put the headdress for her with the longer hair because I personally feel it looks much better on her than the one that she came with, which she looks more of like a you know, butch kind of deal, what they call. I don't really like that hairstyle, even though it's the same face. So that's one of the first comparisons. Next, we'll bring in the Origins Teela right there, which she is based off the actual Vintage. So Vintage and her look quite alike. And just to give you guys an idea, this is the headdress that she didn't come with, the new Teela that she usually wears in the toy. But this is the dress or headdress for her in, you know, underneath. And you see, it matches the tiara, the look that she has there in Revelations without her snake outfit, as you see. See when she doesn't bring her snake staff. Then I also have a Loyal Subject Teela with the same type of style and design. Put her there, as you see there. Then I have the Masters of the Universe Mini Teela. Again, the same style. Put her there. And the Mega Construct Mini with the snake armor dress as well. And again, like I said, this is just a few more of those, you know, just a few of the Teelas that are out there. I do have the Filmation one as well from Masters of the Universe Classics from Super 7. And I also have the Masters of the Universe Classics Teela. But I don't have them in hand, you know, at easy access to me. So I wasn't able to bring them out to, you know, show them here and put them side by side in this comparison. But that's what she looks like with the Teelas that I do have in hand. So it looks pretty cool, you know, and I'm supposed to get the Teela of Mondo, which should be coming out sometime soon. So here we go, guys. Here we have her next to the Black Metal Wonder Woman from McFarlane Toys, from the I think was the Black Metal Build-A-Figure. It was, I don't remember, but you see how she stands a lot taller than her, but looks barbaric, kind of like in the same vein as Teela. This would be cool to do like maybe a Teela out of this. See how she look with this costume, like custom. Now that I think about it. Then we have the DC Essentials or DC Direct Essentials Death Show, and you can see that they stand really nice to next to each other with the nice color palette as well, and they pop. It looks really good. So moving right along. Yeah, guys, and here we have her next to the McFarlane Toys Mega Figure Bane, looking extremely large next to her, and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Lady J from the Classified Series line, not from the retro card from Classified. I kind of like this look better for her. So yeah, you see, they scale next to each other, 2 females, and then, you know, 1 male, and actually, you know, you see that Lady J still is a lot smaller because Teela is supposed to be more in the 7-inch mark, as you can see, even though she's one of the shorter figures from the Masterverse and Revelation series. So let's do maybe one more comparison. I'll be right back. And here we have one more comparison. We have Vox Machina's, I forget his name. He's the vampire expertise hunter from McFarlane Toys. And you see that they scale on the same height because it's 7-inch. And here we have, I forgot who made this. This is the Gungrave Gray figure from one of these the older Japanese toy makers from back in the day. I forget the name of the company. He is articulated, but not as heavy as a lot of figures are nowadays. But still, aesthetically, he is a gorgeous looking figure, and you can see him there next to Teela, how he towers over. He stands maybe about 9 inches, but still, nonetheless, looks really cool and really good in a toy shelf. Just to give you an idea of what Teela from the Masterverse Revelations looks like next to other toy lines. So guys, now we're going to the end of the review and my final thoughts. Alright guys, and so here we are at the end of the review and my final thoughts. Well, all I can say is, although I am late to the game as far as reviewing these two characters, this is my own review and my personal thoughts. I think the figures are really, really good figures. Really nice representation of what an evolution of Masters of the Universe is in a more modern day. Much, much better than what they are interpreted in the CGI Netflix series, which I think those designs are absolutely atrocious and they look absolutely horrible. I do not like those style and aesthetic of those figures at all. So like I was saying, I think those designs are absolutely atrocious. I hate the radical, style of it, of wanting to change, characters from different races to different species, like Orko being a robot. I think is just dumb. Takes away from his magic of how he looks, and him being a magician from another planet that his magic works reverse in Eternia, even though he's supposed to be very powerful. And the fact that Ram-Man is an old woman, Ram-Ma. Oh my God, so many things that I really don't like about it. And people can damage control all they want for it and say whatever they want. I think that the He-Man CGI cartoon and toys are garbage. That is my honest opinion. Now, these I think are really, really cool, really great, because they feel more mature, more modern, and it feels like an evolution of what we started off as little kids with vintage and filmation to this point now in adulthood, and these looking more adult and more hyper realistic. So, like, even classics, these look much more hyper realistic in some instances than Masters of the Universe Classic. Plus, they're pinless. Plus, they have way better articulation, even though these fall short still in some areas. Now, do I think it's worth paying $1 quadrillion on the aftermarket like eBay? Absolutely not. One of the biggest problems that I've had with Revelations thus far, and even Origins, is that a lot of the figures that are more high demanding like these, I have not seen in the store. Ever. I bought these literally, I believe it was through discount. Deep discount. And they had them for regular price. I heard that this man right here, the Merman, was even as low as $12.99 on sale in Amazon. And still to this day, I've never seen them in the store. And I live in the New Jersey area. So, again, I don't think they're worth paying astronomical prices on the aftermarket. Now, if you find them maybe for $30 each, and they're really, retail price at $19.99, a $10 overprice maybe, then I'll say, yeah, go ahead, go for it, because they're going to be worth every penny. Even if these figures were $30, they're still worth it. They have great paint job application, nice amount of accessories or interchangeable heads and hands, weapons, all kinds of cool little stuff. Good paint job and good articulation, like I said. So, I give him a really good thumbs up. I give Mer-man a solid 7 because he's drastically different. But again, like I said, I put and added this harness, and I'm going to try to make him look like Mer-man aged and weathered for now. But when I get the classic style merman and it releases, which is supposedly coming out and already rumored to be in the release down the pipe to be released, then I'll use this as a henchman for merman, and I'll probably go out and get another one to make it at least 2 henchmen for merman that he controls. Teela, I think, looks incredible. I would like to see if Revelations can maybe somewhere down the road do a headdress for her with the snake armor, right? Like in Origins, like this, so that we can do that look as well with the snake staff and perhaps even the classic snake shield that she had in Vintage and Origins. That would be a nice touch to have, you know, for display options, obviously. But I'm okay with this right now if they don't, because this is very reminiscent to the classics and it's really good. Even though it's not a bathing suit style, it's more like a tiara, it still looks great. So I highly recommend it. I think you should go out and get them. So before I, say my goodbyes, let me show you one quick thing. Okay, so real quick, I did have an extra hairdress piece that has a snake from Classics, from one of the, Classics weapons pack as well. And as you can see, it fits on her, but you can't really move her too well. So this is just to give you an idea of what she would look like with it on. I think it needs to be a little bit smaller because this goes to the classic Teela, right? So that's the only thing. But this will give you an idea of what she looks like, right? If you had one on, or if they made one for her down the line in Revelations or Masterverse. So that's just so you guys can have an idea. So guys, give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and review, or give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Share this video with someone you think might like it. As always, thank you for all of you that continue your support. Without you, the channel would not be sustained. On the road to 1,000, I hit it, then it went down to 194, 994, which is fine. Now I'm working my way up again. It's perfectly okay. It's all struggle, it's all a battle. It is what it is. Guys, if you want to follow me in any social media outlet or platform, all the information for that, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, is down in the description below. And if you guys ever want to help me out in any way, shape, or form, from the kindness of your heart, because you like what I do, you like my channel, and you just want to help me because you want to do something good for me or the channel, there is a way you can do it with my Patreon and PayPal information. Or if you want to donate something that you want me to highlight or review, like I did here today, in this case, just hit me up in one of the DMs in those social media platform outlets, and we can work out the particulars. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host Ebot signing off with another episode of Toys in My Closet. Be kind collecting while you're doing it out there in these trying times. And remember, always have fun while doing it, but being mindful and being aware of others and their situation. I'll see you in the next one, guys. This is Ebot signing off. Bye-bye.